3, 2, 1, and...
Hello and welcome to A Gypsy's Kiss. I'm Shelley Carney and it's Humpday Hoedown.
And I'm Toby Eunice. We got all kinds of things going on tonight. We'll do the old emails, text messages, voicemails, call-ins, maybe some call-outs. We've got the infamous Gerald Vacker that we're going to call tonight. He's going to tell us all about the Cruces Basin wilderness solution that he's prepared for us that we saw last week. And we're going to share the treasure poem with you. And we're going to share our travel plans for next September. So it's going to be a totally
busy night.
Busy night. They told me not to dance.
Told you not to dance? Sounds like road music. Pretend we're on the road.
Guess what day it is? Julie. Huh? Julie. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Come on, I know you can hear me. Anybody? Huh? Woo-hoo! Mike. What day is it, Mike? Anybody? Julie. Huh? Julie. Hey, guess what day it is? Julie. Come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Listen, guess what today is?
It's Humpday.
Woo-hoo! Humpday.
So I just saw something floating by about 6 dead searchers. Where is that
What
number?
the what?
I heard one person 2 weeks ago say it was 5 dead searchers, and now who was that? Who was that? Let's see. Oh, Jack. Okay, Jack, you're going to have to give me the names of 6 searchers because the only I'm only aware of 4, and even one of those is questionable at best. So, give me some names, brother. I want to see all 6 of those dead people.
You're so weird.
But wait. Oh, I don't know how loud this is going to be.
Housekeeping, you want towel?
You not only want towels, I'm telling you tonight, you need towels. Not everybody needs towels. All right. Remember that before you leave this evening to like our video, YouTube likes it. When you like our videos, we like it. When you like our videos, everybody in the chat room, maybe the entire universe, likes it. When you what?
I'm just can't get it to do nothing here.
Oh, okay. Like our videos. In addition to that, share that with your family members, your friends, your business associates, your neighbors, and the entirety of your social network so that we can
Grow the channel.
And last but not least, if you're not already a subscriber, imagine the fun you are missing by not being a subscriber. And if you become a subscriber and bang down on that notifications bell, you will be immediately informed when we start a live stream or we schedule a live stream, and that will put you
in the know.
In the know, that's right. And then, of course, oh, damn it. I've got to worry about my cues there.
That's right.
And then, of course, what's that? I was going to say something else. What is it after that? If you want to communicate with us, you need to help us out so that we can make sure we see you trying to reach out. Take, for example, William Hada, who has used the @ A Gypsies, including the apostrophe before the S, space Kiss, to reach out to us. All he's saying is hello from Connecticut, but because he did that, it highlights it in orange on our side so we can see that you have a question. And then, of course, if you'd like to reach out to us in another way, look at the number right down there, 866-597-9901. That's 866-597-9901. You can send a text message right now. You can call and leave a voicemail, and we'll play that voicemail. We'll read the text message, and later on, we'll open up those phone lines so you can call in and tell us about your most recent theory as to where the Fenn treasure lays hidden.
It seems a little darkish. Do you think it's darkish?
It always looks darkish on
before the dawn
on iOS devices.
Oh, okay.
We're not that dark.
All right.
Look, we look like that. When you look at the video afterwards, which I always do, it's how I go to sleep. So after you leave, I just go in my bed and put my head on my pillow.
All right, then.
Watch our show all over again and just say, wow, that really looks good. It's perfectly lit.
I'm sure you're not the only one who does that.
Walking Him Online says, hello from Ohio. And Sassy's in the room. Look at all the people that are in the room that we know. And for you folks on Facebook, we see you. We see you. So we know you're in the Facebook room. So ask your questions because we can answer Facebook questions as well as YouTube questions. And then for the most adventurous of you, and I do mean the most adventurous, go down to the bottom of your chat window and what you'll see is that $sign, that stylized $sign in gray. Click on that and you'll get the opportunity to
Super chat.
Super chat what?
Super chat challenge.
Super chat challenge.
But you know what?
And
It's really only for the lead searcher.
half the room thinks they're the lead searcher, for gosh sakes. Yeah. If you're the lead searcher, this would be your opportunity to use the Super Chat challenge.
Super chat challenge.
Yeah. So. And finally, we'd like to thank our moderators in the room.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
More cowbell.
That didn't sound very good.
Apparently, so Mike Cowling
Yeah.
and his son apparently have one of his sons, Eric, I think it's the younger of the two, both had a birthday about the same time, so they were celebrating it out there. And one of the gifts he got was a cowbell.
Oh.
So they were like, by the time they showed it on their channel, like everybody was tired of the cowbell, because we're not going to do that. Thank you, Kevin, for giving us our cowbell. We do like our cowbell. And then finally, I want to say hi to our moderators that include Mitzi Moore and Hooli, and they help manage our room. The other two are E.S., Eric Schmidt. There's more.
And John Werner and Greg Keller.
And Greg Keller. I haven't seen Greg Keller around. He got busy with his...
He kind of disappeared
they
after he
changed
got his Blue Wrench. He
yeah.
took his Blue Wrench and went home.
Went home. We never saw it again. So, what do we want to do first? Let's break out the treasure poem first.
Oh, okie
Okay, so remind me to get out of screenshot because I'm going to go to screenshot here in just a minute, and I'll get stuck in
Sassy will remind us if we
Sassy
forget.
will
Hey,
remind us.
Laura Dunlap's in the room.
Hi,
the
Laura from the Philippines. So this is, you don't have to read it. This is just the treasure poem that we read. Let me explain what happened. As you are all aware, prior to Fenn, we went up to Hyde State Park above Santa Fe, and we went to shelter number 2 where the big event, the Saturday potluck was taking place, and above there we hid one of the silver coins, right? Oh, that's how you see those guys right there?
Woohoo! Alan K,
our
99 cents, Super
iOS
Chat.
users.
Sassy 1962,
I am
Super
the
Chat. Lead Super Chatter.
Yes, you are. Right now. You need to
Puppies
catch up
have
on
been saved, says
Puppies have
Mitzi.
So we went up to picnic shelter number 2 in Hyde State Park, and we went up above that area, and we hit a treasure. Then we wrote a poem, and we shared that with the folks at Fenn, and Silver Fox figured out the poem, and he found the treasure.
He
and
didn't figure out the poem.
Come on, he had a head start. You can't read that.
I asked him, did you know this clue? And he's like, nope. I just looked for a place where I thought a treasure should be hidden, and there it was.
Well, then why are we sharing the poem? Just go up in the mountains above the shelter too and find the treasure.
He
because
was-
apparently all you
He's
need
just
is
psychic. We can't help
is
that.
psychic abilities. Take somebody with you that has psychic abilities. A
But the poem should get you there if you know
metal
me and
detector
Toby
will not help.
well enough.
A drone will not
You
help.
got to know me and Toby.
Because you will not stumble over this treasure.
No.
Anyway, Silver Fox hid something else. It was
No.
a Toyota nut adjusting thing or something. It was a bolt. And so
The Kinzers.
the Kinzers, Sarah and Brad Kinzer, went back up and found that. And then they left what they referred to as
a monetary.
monetary prize or something like
Prize
that.
or
So they put some money
donation
up
of
there.
some sort.
It could be $1, it could be $100 bill. I don't know. We don't know. But he put it up there in exactly the same location. So the poem still fits. So I've taken the link to this poem and I've put it in the description box below. So if you ever find yourself headed for Hyde Park and you'd like to take a look for this, there's the poem that tells you where to find the treasure.
And if you take the treasure, leave a treasure.
Yeah, I keep doing it, and then tell us what you did, and then we'll tell everybody else to go look for another treasure. So what we ought to do is like double the amount every time you go up there.
So if there's one screw, the next person leaves 2 screws?
Or in their case, monetary. The Kingers left something. So if they left $10, you leave 20.
Ah.
I mean, I suppose we can always go back up there and hide something. We'll take some of the jewelry that Scott gave us. Yeah. Cynthia let me know it was Scott. Is his name. So, Scott, I apologize for not remembering your name last week. Walking among lions. Has anyone discussed a mathematical cryptogram? Walking among lions, pretty much everybody, but Fenn tells us they're so cryptograms and all this.
We watched a movie about that last night.
Yeah, we did. Okay, so that's the poem part. Now, let's go to travel plans. So we worked out our upcoming travel plans.
We're still showing the poem.
Okay. See, where's Sassy when I need her?
In the room.
Okay.
But I got there first.
We are...
She's on delay.
She's on delay. Aha! So that's Shelley's handwriting in my notebook with our travel plans for September. They start on Saturday, September 7th. And I'm just going to go through the towns that we're going to hit. Pagosa Springs, Thermopolis, Kirby. Oh, that's the distillery.
Mm-hmm. Cody.
Well, we're going to stop at Matitsi.
Oh, yeah. Kirby, Matitsi.
Kirby, Matitsi, Cody. From Cody, we go to West Yellowstone. We're going to drive through Yellowstone. Then we're going to drive through Yellowstone again, and we're going to head for the Tetons and Lander. And then we're going to drive from Lander to Salida. Salida, we're going to do some fishing and winery and distillery. And then from Salida home back to Bernalillo. So that is between September. I'm sorry. Saturday, September. What is this book, man? Saturday, September 7th through Sunday, September 15th. Now, as we get closer to that point, we'll post something in the community blog, our community page blog on our YouTube channel, so that you know what days we're going to be in what locations. And maybe what we'll do, I was thinking maybe we can just tell you where we're planning to have dinner. And if you want to show up, and I don't necessarily you have to have dinner, but maybe if you just want to show up and say hi, we'll be there. We don't have any theories for the treasure in that area, so we're not going to spend any time, literally no time, looking for the treasure. I have 2 objectives. Objective number 1 is to come home with as many photographs as I possibly can, so I can edit out the bad ones and give you the good ones. And objective number 2 is I want to cast at least 1 fly into the Madison River to say that I had cast a fly. Probably a streamer, because those waters up there are just huge. They don't do dry. They do dry flies, but they're mostly streamer fishers. As a matter of fact, those 2 flies that Fenn gave Christy to give away at Function in the Junction, those were streamers. I'd like to have one of those and just toss it in the river so I can say I have fly fished the Madison River. And it's all catch and release, so you can't. It's not like you can. The only place you can take as many as you want is in the lakes, apparently, because the lake trout are all invasive species there. So they'll let you take as many lake trout as you want.
In fact, they say if you catch one, you have to kill it.
Right.
You have to. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Don't put it back.
Yeah.
Kill it. Take it home. Or throw it in the garbage. Or whatever.
The rangers are,
Get rid of
if
it.
you're going to be fishing in the lake and expect to catch lake trout, they'll issue a 9mm pistol so that you can kill that fish immediately right there before it gets away.
You could just knife it.
Oh, look at Sally Carney. Whoa.
It's just a fish. I
It's
eat
just a
fish.
fish.
Don't you eat fish?
We love fish.
I eat
We love
fish.
trout especially.
Well, they
So-
aren't dead when you eat them, you know.
So DB Cooper says, well, we're not going to well, just like I said, once we finalize these plans, because the only hotel room we have at this point is the West Yellowstone hotel room.
He'll
So
be
we're
in
still
West
gonna-
Yellowstone on September 12th. Yeah, we'll be there the
So,
11th and then
so what-
driving south on the 12th.
on that. So as soon as we tighten up those plans just a little bit, we'll post it to our community blog, and that way you guys will know what we're doing. Now it's a fast-paced trip too. It's not like we're going to spend a whole day in West Yellowstone commiserating. We're
We're on the move.
Quick.
Oscar Mike.
smote like a butterfly, sting like a bee. What is it?
Float.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That's how we're
Smote.
going to be.
Smote like
I
the hand
smoked
of
that
God.
butterfly. I smote my lake trout. Rafael Perla. Let's see, Mako, secret place north of New Mexico. I should hire Rafael to help me with my Spanish so that I can get better when I talk
Wow,
to
don't
Patricia.
hire him. Just invite him over for a barbecue because he lives
And then
up the
I
road.
just got a letter from Jono Jones. He's going to be in Albuquerque in August, and he reminded me that I promised him a barbecue. So I will be gathering some people because Jono and his family are going to be in town.
Oh,
We're gonna
we'll
have a
have to call the Patricia and her husband.
Yeah, no,
Paul.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So, Patricia, if you're watching this, I should probably, I've got to change it. He sent
And of
it
course,
to
Cynthia and
he sent it to my personal email address. So,
Raphael.
and Rafael Perla de
Yeah.
Rio Rancho.
Yeah, all
so he
kinds
could
of
come over.
Spanish
Yeah.
being spoken.
Yeah. We can just put the three of us over in the corner and they can teach me all the Spanish that I've forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so that's that. So we do have the Gerald Vacker stuff
Mm-hmm.
that comes from the album that he sent us a couple of weeks ago. We're going to do that. We're going to call him in a
Last
while. He's been sending me emails all week saying he's ready for this. He sent me some additional photos so that we can work with that. So it should be fun. We'll have to call him. If he doesn't answer the phone, then that's his last chance.
How about saying hello to the room first?
Do you want to say hello before we? Yeah, may as well. Go ahead. Do you want to use this or yours? Where are you at? I'll keep an eye out for questions and stuff. You say hello.
Oh,
So I'm at
sounds good.
what they were in here at 6:45.
6:54. Daniel
Burke.
Burke. What day is it? Hump Day.
Hump day, brother.
AJ Rainville knows. Alan K is here. Difference between a camel and a man is that one can work a whole week without drinking. Cheers. The Sassy's here.
Says hi.
Wayne Ross. Tom Sawyer. Da Bear. What? Denver. Jack. Scott Douglas. Did anyone find the treasure today?
Nope, nobody. At least not that we're aware of. If they did, they didn't announce.
Heidi H. Hello. Jennifer Norrid.
Is Heidi H. Heidini?
I don't know.
Heidi
Maybe.
H. Are you Heidini too?
Holy. Fenn Acquaintances.
Fenn Quays, that's all right.
LR. Patricia is here. Hey. Hola.
Hey, Patricia, did you hear that? We're going to have a party in August, so I will send you an
ready.
invitation. You know what? Do me a favor.
We should
I don't-
invite Scots for that too.
We should. They're not big fans, but
We haven't had enough parties to have invited them to anything.
that's true. Patricia, send an email to a gypsieskiss@gmail.com so I can send you an invitation. I don't have your email.
Don't we? On that card she gave us?
Oof. I don't know. I'll have to look at my whiteboard.
Anyway. Patricia.
Y
what's
usted
Patricia?
también, Rafael.
Sí. Ken Blythe is here. Mitzi Moore. Joe Sheeran. Walking Among Lions.
Wait a minute. What does he say? When the
Who?
show starts streaming, wait 5 seconds for the ads that show on our computers to go away. I thought we took care of that.
You know, all we do is say hello, and then we start the bumper
The
thingy.
music, yeah.
So, you don't miss anything.
You're not missing anything.
We kind of
important
add
except
fluff
Shelley-
to the front.
Shelley dancing.
We add fluff to the front. Evelyn Curry just fed the animals, ready for some hoedowning. Ross B, hump day, y'all. Ryan Van Gelder, hello. Rebecca Peterson. Shelley Rybacki. Southern Illinois. 2 Buckets
It
Prospecting.
says, I share Toby with all my business
I
associates.
saw that. 2 Buckets is from Tombstone, Arizona.
Heather
William
Don,
Cotta.
I got your note in the comments below our announcement, and we'll do everything. I think you're in Cody, right? So she wants to meet up when we're in Cody with her. So we'll figure something out. It might be, lunch on the patio at the Buffalo Wild Bill Cody Museum. Is it Wild Bill or Buffalo Bill? Wild Bill.
Buffalo Bill.
Okay.
It was Wild Bill Hickok.
Buffalo Bill Cody. Yeah, got him.
Yeah.
Wei Biaoxin is in the room.
Oh, hey. Jin. William Goswick. Steve Gahagan. Hello. Jack Calico. Chris Luce.
Luce.
Rusty Nipples. Oh, Luce.
Luce
Rusty
is
Nipples.
Italian, yeah.
Still missing the start of the show due to the added played by YouTube. That's okay.
Oh,
we just
okay.
we
We're
just
fixing
add a
that.
little fluff to the
We're
front.
going to add a little fluff to it.
A little fluff to the front. You don't miss nothing. Paladin.
Point to Shelley's thing.
Vicky McMillan. Evan Penn.
All right, let me go back and see what Rusty Nipple said that he retracted.
Oh, I just told you what he said.
No, because
That he missed the beginning.
no, he retracted something.
I know.
Oh, he's
right
retracting.
after I read it.
Okay, I see.
He didn't want to be redundant because somebody else had already said it. I guess. William's here.
AJ says
Davio.
Toby listens to his own voice to put himself to sleep. You know what? It's not. It's her.
No,
she's
that
got
never
it.
puts him to sleep. Puts me to sleep.
Yeah. What? My voice?
All that pontificating, using up all the air in the room.
Oh, you should have seen last night. So last night I invited Shelley over to the Tamaya
Tamaya.
Resort and Spa because I found this wonderful veranda that faces east towards the mountains. And I said, let's go have cocktails and appetizers on the veranda.
And celebrate.
And celebrate her uploading of her two of her first solo Udemy course, right?
On life
So they was gonna
coaching.
on life
How to
coaching.
be your own life coach.
So
Look for it on
we were going to
Udemy.
celebrate, and then so we had picked a nice spot because it was kind of stormy.
It was a little windy when we got there, and
Yeah.
it started raining and sprinkling.
But there's a place that's
off and on.
set back, and you don't feel the wind. It's just kind of a cool breeze that comes through. Anyway, we happened to sit down at a table for 4, and there was 2 conferences.
Because there wasn't anybody else there at the time.
Right, at
Some
the time
woman
we
on
met.
the phone talking to her computer or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. So, but there were 2 conferences at least 2. One was the National Dairymen's Council conference, and the other was
Something with lawyers. I don't know.
the attorneys. They didn't say, but it was obvious because a lot of the people that were in there for cocktails and appetizers looked like they were convention kind of people. Anyway, at some point it started crowding up, and this couple walked in, and they were looking for a place to sit, and there was nothing, and we had the 2 open chairs. And so we asked them to join us. We said, you're welcome to sit right down there. We introduced each other. They turned out to be from Maryland, from near Baltimore. He worked for the NIH, which I had done.
In case
some
they're
work with.
watching tonight, hey, Dennis and Jennifer.
So we're telling your story. Anyway, at some point, I'm not sure what. How did the conversation?
Pretty much you just started pontificating about a gypsy's kiss and Forrest Fenn treasure and talking all about yourself.
I started pontificating about the Forrest Fenn treasure and Gypsy's Kiss, and
As one does.
as talking about myself. And so this went on for, I don't know,
Totally not Toby.
4 hours.
I felt like it, but I think it was only 1 hour.
Okay. So anyway, they got the whole spiel on the Fenn treasure hunt, and how I got involved in it. And anyway, eventually we had finished our cocktails and our appetizers, and we needed to get back to my place so that Shelley could get home. And so I didn't think much about it. I thought I was just doing my normal social thing.
Oh, now you're telling all our secrets.
What? Well, I had to bring you home, right? We were going, not home. I mean, it was,
Well, no, I mean.
this is where your
okay,
car
go
was.
on.
Is that all I'm
Figure
saying?
it. Finish
You
it.
gotta
Finish this. Oh, hey, we got a William Goswick, $10 to stop telling stories. Oh,
Is that what you said?
no.
Oh,
The
stop.
poem took me to a tip with a crescent moon. Oh, a teepee. I thought it was said tip and then an exclamation point. Teepee. With a crescent moon inside and an X under the crescent made of rocks. I can't go till I'm back from Peru. Which poem? Ours or
I am
Fenn's?
not going to feel sorry for you about being in Peru.
Go ahead, finish your story.
Anyway, so I brought Shelly back to my place. She got in her car, went home. And then this afternoon, we were preparing for the softer side, and we were talking about the subject was people who don't show up, right? Who tell you're going to be there and they don't show up. And I reminded myself of a time where I used to make plans and invite her, and then I'd call her and I'd say, you know what, we're going to have to change that plan because
Oh, you mean like, was it Monday?
Yeah, like Monday. Anyway, I don't know how we got on the subject, but we have the kind of relationship where we can tell each other anything that's really bugging us. Now, it just so happens that there are a lot more things about me that bug Shelly than there are about Shelly that bug me.
I'm so pleasant.
Yes, she's such a pleasant person. And so she wanted to have a little conversation about last night and reminded me that we went to celebrate her upbringing, and we ended up me pontificating to these poor Marylanders about Fenn's treasure. So it was
So
a
don't
lesson.
do that to your significant other or partner or the people that you're with.
Yeah.
Steal the spotlight. Tell them.
Anywho.
Talking
So
about your
another lesson
Fenn
learned,
obsession.
and proving yet again that you can teach an old dog new tricks if you repeat them enough times. Okay, sorry.
Where were we at?
I don't know.
All right. We had Evelyn Curry, DIY Dave, Laura Dunlap, Davio. I think I was there. Mathematical Cryptogram, Super Chatters. We got High Plains Drifter, DB Cooper, Mr. Winger, 1951. Says the Madison is full of fish. Try a small sulfur.
Small what?
Sulfur. Sulfur?
Sulfur.
Sulfur.
I'll have to find one. I don't know. I literally do not own a single streamer. New Mexico is not a streamer river kind of place.
Chris Kibbe,
Dry flies, wet flies, and French nymphing.
Karen Werner.
Hi, Karen.
Everyone. Hi, everyone from Boston tonight visiting my grandbaby.
Oh. Sassy says, ¿Dónde está la cantina? That's most of what I know. It's very useful.
Hatchet Jack from Kentucky. Janet Lancard.
From the Facebook group.
Mitchy Mitch.
Davio 22 is wearing a short skirt and a long jacket. No, Davio, that's not you, right?
Michael
You were commenting on
Wimmer.
somebody else.
Tom Sawyer. Ah, see? Chris Luce. Shelley got it right.
Oh, it's loose. Okay.
Ha.
Ha!
Sean Malloy.
You got me again.
Alan Rich. Holy crap, has anybody seen the pics of the Blaze and Water High on Mysterious Writings? Wow. Dwight Gwynn. We're always entertaining him. Paul O'Brien. Tony Rusi. It popped up on me. There it is. Tony Rusi. And Chris Luce. Sometimes I have to say the names over and over again to see if they mean anything, because after that whole, do you know who it is?
Do you know who it is?
It's just like, they might do that to us again. I got to check those out. Rizzo, 529.
Toby waxing poetic again. Yeah, Evan, it's not even poetic. It's like Shelley says, pontificating.
Unicorn Sue. There it is. Do you know who it is?
We do know.
It's Juno. Robert Zielinski, Denise Baker, and I'm at the bottom.
LR says AGK Media. We don't, LR, just to help you so we can see it, we don't use the AGK Media moniker anymore.
Oh, interesting. Thank you, Huli.
But I am not easily annoyed.
So Huli says, I use Cliff Notes as an inside prompt to keep stories moving with one of my besties. So if you start getting carried away with telling too much, I can say Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes.
And you're supposed to
Cliff Notes.
tighten it up.
Well, you always, when we're here, you always just squeeze my leg.
Yeah, but
When
you
it's
get
going
so
on slow.
excited about it.
It just makes me happy. I know you don't want to spoil my pleasure.
Okay.
AGK Media, maybe you're easily annoyed because you are 70. I am probably the least annoyable 70-year-old you'll ever meet.
What are they saying? You're annoyed.
I don't know. I don't know because it was something we were saying before.
Oh. Are we ready to
Toby,
move
it's
on
on
to
the Popoja? Okay, we are ready to move on to. Let's see. Davio is having fantasies about Mitzi here. Hold on, Davio. Your stream está.
And then we have an Arizona
bueno again.
love interest, Unicorn Sue.
Okay, Sassy, what I can tell you is we're going out of here at 5257 KBS, and YouTube says, as soon as I update this,
Says good.
YouTube says our stream is in the green. So I don't know. I don't know what I can tell you. I don't know what's bad. Está no bueno.
No, está bueno.
Going with the phone calls, Tony has nearly infinite patience, far from easily annoyed. Yes, exactly, Evan. See how patient I am with the phone calls. Oh, let's do some emails.
All right. So, Mitzi Moore or Huli, you guys are allowed to post links because you are the Blue Ranchers.
Yeah.
Emails, video.
So if you want to post,
Email
if you want to
video.
get the, if one of you guys want to get, I guess I could do that. If you guys want to get the link for the poem,
Mysterious Writings
in the description box. Oh, in Mysterious Writings, yeah, you can do that. I don't know what's going on. What's going on with Mysterious Writings? Oh, is that the infamous Blaze and
Blaze pictures or something?
Yeah.
So, play the email video.
Play
Misty for me.
We'll push you through. Okay, she can't on her phone. Hang on.
Can't what?
Whoever has that link for the Mysterious Writings thing, send it to a Gypsy's Kiss at gmail.com, and I'll post it for you.
Okay. So, this is our first email from Old School. And the title is, I went to my area on June is amazing. Please, hi, Toby and Shelley. Please see the pictures and tell me what you think. The area is beautiful, but the snow was a factor, and on August, I will be heading again. I found a wagon, pieces, and ancient men stuff, and bananas, and an olive jar cap. I'm so excited to go back and continue to look. Please share. I hope I'm the lead searcher.
All right. So let me show some of the pictures that he sent us here. So that is picture number 1. It looks like part of a ceramic plate and a tin top. Old wood. Something, because it's got that rod bolt into it. That is an insulator from a telephone pole. Oh, that's probably what the other thing is too, just a close-up. That's part of an insulator. So that's an insulator from electric or telephone pole. Telephone. And that is another part of an insulator. So that brown and white stuff, that ceramic stuff, are insulators. There, Holy's got it. The treasure poem. Oh, interesting pictures. And a banana peel. Oh, who knows? It could be Fenn that left that banana peel behind.
10 years ago.
Reminding us to grab all the bananas. Fenn poem. This is from Joe Ruiz. It says, hi, Toby and Shelley. I will preface this with I am new to the chase. Have I read this already? It feels like I've read this. I am a greenhorn and have never been boots on the ground, nor do I have a copy of the thrill. I read this last week.
Then don't read it.
Okay, I won't. Never mind.
This one's from Aboard, also known as George. He says, hello, Toby and Shelley. What happened about True North and his friend? He was saying that his friend was definitely going to find the chest. That was last week, right?
Mm-hmm. That was last
Friday,
Friday,
right?
yeah. So if we haven't heard from him since, George.
And we're so surprised.
So the challenge is that if your friend is telling you they're going to find the treasure, then you've got to count on them and their expertise and their knowledge and all that. But you can be just as excited for them as if they are going to find the treasure. We haven't heard back. And we haven't heard that the treasure's been found. So it could very well be that he's still looking for it, for all we know. So, but we haven't heard anything back. Maybe George remembered his name. What's his name?
True North.
True North. True North. If you're in the room, text me the 866-597-9901 number, and
To
I'll call you.
North. To North. Scott Douglas says to North. It wasn't True North. It was to North.
Is True North in the room tonight?
I haven't seen him.
All right. Well, everybody keep an eye out for
Scott's right, though. It was to North.
Okay. Thank you, Scott.
But yeah,
Very well done.
it sounds like True North,
True North, it's not.
sometimes. To North.
If he comes
to
into the room,
North.
let us. He's usually a little bit late, so if he pops into the room, remind me, and we'll give him a call and ask him. This is the subject line is Arrowhead Arch Projection Solve Update. Wow, serious stuff. This is from William Hada, who's already in the room. William says, "Hi, Toby and Shelley. I've been thinking some more about the Arrowhead Arch Projection Solve and have made some revisions to the time and date." Now, if you remember correctly, this is the one that was proposed to us by Wayne Ross, right? Who's also in the room. And we probably pushed it further than it had the potential. But I know that William has been exploring this, and he said, "I initially proposed a sunset on September 9th, 2019. However, based on comments in the Friday video and further consideration, I think that it is more likely a sunrise than a sunset because fishing is better at that time and would put the blaze further away from Toltec Gorge." See, that's what I was thinking, because it's got to come from the east, and it would then project west into the area that's easily accessible from the Colorado side, fitting my confirmation bias perfectly. I think that it is more likely a sunset than a sunrise. Sunrise than a sunset because fishing is better at that time, and will put the blaze further away from Toltec Gorge, closer to the home of Brown, hence a shorter, easier trek to the chest. I downloaded some terrain models in the area and built a 3D model of an arrowhead blaze projection on the 3D mesh terrain model. The sun rises at 93 degrees on September, so that's 93 degrees on September 30th versus 83 degrees on September 9th, and brings the projection further up the creek closer to the home of Brown. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to show that right now. So this is the 3D model of Arrowhead Arch area terrain. So he shows the sun arriving from the east, projecting through right there, which is where the Arrowhead Arch is projected to be, and further up into the gorge. I think what he's going to do is he's going to move it in this direction. Let's see. Sunrise at somewhere at 93 degrees. So the Arrowhead Arch is here, and the sun projection shows up in the gorge. The problema with that is I think you're still pretty much in the gorge. But Arrowhead Arch. You know what's interesting about this part of your solution? So let me read the rest of this. Hence a shorter, easier trek to the chest. I downloaded some terrain models of the area and built a 3D model of an arrowhead blaze projection on 3D mesh terrain model. The sun rises at 93 degrees on September 30th versus 83 degrees on September 9th, and brings the projection further up the creek closer to the home of Brown. Not having more detailed terrain models and everything to exact scale makes it hard to zero in on exact locations, but it illustrates the general principle, and gives better insight into where and when to look for the blaze. Attached are labeled 2D renderings of the 3D model. Thanks for the tips on making the beef pozole. It came out great. I loved it. A definite keeper. Pozole es muy bueno.
We've got a message in the chat room from Rizzo529. Said, I sent that email, Joe Ruiz. after the Friday live stream was over. I sent a text during the live stream that was read.
Oh,
Is what happened.
so we need to read his email.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go back and I'll read it now, Joe. But so William is obviously taking this possibility seriously. And here's something interesting. He's projecting, based on his projection through the Arrowhead Arch, he's projecting that on the, let's see, that would be the south face of the Toltec Gorge. And that side of the gorge, although you can't get down into the gorge from there, that side of the gorge is accessible from the Cruces Basin wilderness that we're going to be talking about tonight. So maybe there's something there, guys. Hold on. Let me get this. I tossed it. Ouch. Okay. So, William, thank you very much for sending it. I think you're onto something, brother. I think you're onto something. Let me go back to full screen. All right. So this is the email from Joe Ruiz, J Rizzo, and it's entitled Fenn Poem. It said, "Hi, Toby and Shelley. I will preface this with I am new to the chase. I am a greenhorn and have never been boots on the ground, nor do I have a copy of The Thrill of the Chase. I plan on buying a copy soon. I was just introduced to the chase this year in February by a coworker. I will, however, say that I enjoy your YouTube channel the most over all other content creators on the subject. No disrespect to the other channel, but yours is superior in content and the production quality. Kudos to you both." It's because we love doing this. We just love it. I'm emailing because I had a thought on the poem from The Thrill of the Chase. I had sent a text earlier during the live stream, as he explained earlier, tonight, about Forrest Fenn facing his own death. Toby said the subject had been covered. We did cover it. We have covered it before in a couple of our videos, actually. To me, it appears that the poem could be broken up by all the odd stanzas speaking about his mortality and the events covering and the evens. Oh, I see. The odd numbers carrying one thing, speaking about the mortality, and the even stanzas covering clues. Fenn had said that it took him 15 years to design the poem. After 15 years, it seemed he had time to reflect on the whole thing and come to terms with the fact that we all pass eventually. He beat cancer, but we can't beat life. Here are my thoughts about the poem. The first stanza sounds like him going into his own mind, maybe a reflection of his early days and being optimistic, new to him riches, but old to the world. The third stanza, sounding like it's when he's fighting cancer. It sounds like a struggle, a battle of his mind and body, overcoming all the odds. The fifth stanza sounds like after he beat cancer, he decided to hide a treasure for all to seek. He knows he can't take it with him and feels lucky. He knows eventually all of us have to go at some point. He also reflects on being a Vietnam fighter pilot at this point. He had did it, that should be done it, tired, during, and now he is weak from age. I thought about this because I work in the funeral business and face death mortality every day. It seems to me that Forrest Fenn reflects a lot about his own death in his poem. He then beat what seems like a premature death. The other stanzas seem to be the clues, in my opinion. Just my greenhorn interpretation of the poem. What are your thoughts about my idea and the poem and the stanzas? How does Forrest Fenn facing mortality affect the ultimate hiding spot? Please don't share. Guys, if you don't want us to share your email, please put that at the beginning of the email as opposed to the end. He says, please don't share my email. P.S. I live in Indiana.
No, he said in the chat that it was okay to read it.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
I live in Indiana and my mom lives in Montana, making it convenient if you ever have to go to search Montana. So two things that I'm reminded of. I was in an English composition class in college, a 101, 102 class. And I remember my teacher, whose name is Mary Jones, by the way. I kind of had a crush on her. Dark hair, very hippie, dark hair. Anyway. So I remember her saying one time that all poetry is about life and death.
Was she in your dream?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, okay.
But she could very well have been. That all poetry, all poems are about life and death, right? And I thought that was an exaggeration. I mean, how do you take, well, I was going to say Thanatopsis, which is about life and death, but how do you take anything written by E.E. Cummings and call it life and death? And then when you start reading his stuff, you start realizing, whoa, this could be about life and death. So one has to question the possibility as to whether when Fenn wrote his poem, after studying the process after probably teaching himself on how to write a poem, he decided that it was going to be about, like all poetry, life and death. And maybe that's the context. I have said the context is fishing. Others have said the context is flying. Maybe the context is life and death. And if the context is life and death, there's some other opportunities for analysis that we think are fair. Because I think once you figure out the context for that poem, whether it's fishing, flying, childhood memories, life and death, then once you've done that, those clues are going to come easier and easier and easier. I haven't done the kind of research into that area with that poem that would enable me to give you any additional thoughts. I am only reminded that Mary Jones, my beautiful English 102 teacher, once said, all poetry is about life and death.
Did she tell you that most great poets were mentally...
unstable?
Yeah.
They have to be.
Yeah. It's been shown throughout history that they most of them had schizophrenia or bipolar. All the best poets. And many of the best writers.
And some of the best artists.
Yeah. So
I could name 5 artists.
if you're not a good artist, I feel bad. At least you're not crazy.
At least
So Sassy wanted to know, what's the home of brown in the gorge solution? Isn't it brown trout?
Yeah, it's a home of brown trout solution. So if you're on the Rio de los Pinos and you're doing the Toltec Gorge, or the Rio de los Pinos Toltec Gorge, then it's a fishing context. The whole thing's a fishing, but it's a poem about fishing. So, and then suddenly that arrowhead comes flashing over your shoulder.
The Fenn diagnosis. We're going to talk more about that next week.
Hey, we're going to talk more about that next week.
So, this is from Cow Lasers. 2019 coin hunt.
Uh-oh, I didn't. Hang on. Go ahead and read it.
Hello, everyone. Moo. I'm just adding, I'm stalling here. Attached are the clues that will lead you to a proxy item. Think green and gold. For 2019 searcher coin number 035. Email me a picture of the item and the code on it. Also, send the state and location it is found. Where it is found. Good luck. Thanks, Mike, a.k.a. Cow Lasers.
Okay, so he sent me, I've got to open this up. Hang on, just give me a second. Let me go over to screenshot. So he sent me, I guess this is the poem that has all the clues.
Wow, that's a long one.
Yeah, it's 4 or 5
I must have worked
pages.
15 years on that thing.
Five.
Yeah. It must be a song.
So what I've done is I copied that over
Lyrics.
to my Google Drive. What page am I looking at here? Oh, that's still a mail. So let's go.
Wait, is this just a song, or did they write this?
No, he says those are it's attached are the clues that will lead you to the proxy item. Okay, so I just saved that to the Google Drive. And we'll do the Cow Lazarus puzzle. Okay, and hang on. I got to open up the Google Docs, and I'll give you that in just a second. You're seeing all of this in real time. Okay, so we're going to share. And I don't want to edit. I want to get a shareable link. There's the link. You copy that. They can view. Copy link. Okay, here
Who is the poet who walked into a lake to kill herself? That is a real horror movie. Way to go.
So I'm going to put that in the chat room. So here's the link to the clue for the latest Cal Lazar's K-Pro Treasure. You can pull it down from our Google Drive. Okay? So there.
Okay,
Put that in your Smike and Puppet.
there we are. This is. Do you want to read this? You want me to?
Wait, I have Christy's picture. Wait.
Christy's picture. A picture of what?
Oh, dang nabbit. Dang nabbit.
The sun?
No, that one right there.
Oh,
Do you want to read it? This is up your alley.
since you seem to have trouble saying the word.
Enneagram.
There you go. This is from Christy,
That's Christy right there.
Ben's wife.
And that's Ben. Christy is the I don't know, is Ben a searcher or just a tolerant spouse?
I don't know. He was chasing a kid around, so.
Yeah. I think Christy is the primary searcher and Ben is. So this was them at Fenbury. Go ahead, and then she sent us
Hi,
this.
Toby and Shelley. I met you both at Fenbury this year with my husband, Ben. Have you ever delved into personality types and tried to type Forrest? A popular one now is the Enneagram. I have read all about it and find it fascinating. There are 9 personality types on the Enneagram. I believe Forrest is a 4, or the individualist, with a wing of a 3, the achiever. This would explain his need to do something noteworthy with his life, his creativity, his melancholy, his sensitivity, his wit, and his susceptibility to rejection. It would also explain how he was so successful in art and tended to mingle with the rich and famous so often, while being so driven to prove himself. Anyway, it's just a thought. I thought it might be an interesting question to pose to your audience. Have you tried to type Forrest with any popular personality testing? Not sure if it would necessarily help with the chase, but certainly maybe a deeper dive into his psyche would benefit the searcher. Thanks, Christy.
Christy, we thought that was a really fun idea. So here's what we're going to propose. So Shelley and I are both familiar with Enneagram, and we're familiar with Myers-Briggs, and I'm familiar with another whose name I cannot recall. So here's what we decided to do. Shelley's more of an expert in these areas in interpretation, interpretation of actions of human beings than I am. But I studied a lot of it because you use it in sales all the time. It's just that's why you do things like Myers-Briggs, et cetera, to do this quick analysis in sales. Anyway, so what we decided to do is over the next week or so. Maybe not next Wednesday, but no later than next Friday. I'll do that. We're going to take and we're going to type Fenn in Myers-Briggs and Enneagram and this other one whose name I can't recall. So that will be 3 different analysis of his Fenn type. I'm not sure I agree with you that he's a 4 on the Enneagram. I think he's more like me, like a 7 or 9.
You're not a 9. I'm a 9.
Oh. 7 then. Anyway,
I think you're an 8.
So what we're going to do is we'll look at the 3 of them. We'll do Enneagram, we'll do Myers-Briggs, and we'll do this third sales typing analysis. Amiable. I can't remember it now, but I'll dig it up and we'll do one that way.
Detail oriented.
So by next. No later than maybe on Wednesday, but no later than next Friday, we'll have at least 3 breakdowns of what we think. We're not, none of it. Neither of us are experts in this area in terms of psychology. As a matter of fact, the closest I came to them was sending them intelligence, and they had a whole floor above me at George G. Meade at Fort George G. Meade that was populated with psychologists and psychiatrists who did nothing but profiling. So based on the information, the intelligence we provided them. Okay, my turn.
Uh-huh.
Wait.
Yes, Scott Douglas, we're getting to it yet. We haven't gotten to it yet, but it's on the pile.
It's on the pile, Scott. Okay, so I'm going to read 2 from Tony Rusi. One was at 4:50 and one was at 4:05 a.m. For God's sakes, Tony.
He's as bad as you. Staying up all night.
Yeah, till all night. Let me read the one at 4:05. So this one is called Only 2 Hints and 2 Aberrations in the Thrill of the Chase. Oh, here, let me get back to you. Where's Sassy when I need her? Okay. There are 9. So this is from Tony. There are 9 clues in the poem. Oh, this is a quote. Quote, there are 9 clues in the poem, but if you read the book, there are a couple There are a couple of good hints, and there are a couple of aberrations that live out on the edge, unquote. 4 things total, but what are they? I think one good hint is that a few of the TTOC chapter titles are not capitalized. But what is the other hint? Any ideas or observations on that? As for aberrations, why the upside-down state outline in the Thrill of the Chase cover differ slightly from the actual borders. You know what? That is so made up, Tony. That's not the states. It's just not. Especially in the Madison River area and above West Yellowstone. What's that about? And Toby and Shelley, do you have any ideas on the other aberrations? I've seen 2 versions of the jet pictures on page 99, one with 1 X-bomb and the other with 2 X-bombs. What could that possibly mean? You first. So he said 2 hints and 2 aberrations. My sense is that he concluded that after he read the book and it was published. It was published and he went through it and he thought to himself, "Oh, well, that's
Well,
interesting."
Evelyn called it the Johari window too.
Yeah, see, Evelyn, that's what I thought it was. I said that, and Shelley corrected me. I didn't think that was I thought Johari window was the model. I don't think it necessarily applied to this approach to a quick analysis of personality type. But I promise you, we'll know by next week. So I have no idea, to answer your first and probably primary question, I have no idea what the hints and the aberrations are. What I can tell you what I think on a subjective level they are. I think they are things that stuck out to him, that as he read through the book and he thought to himself, he read a line or he read a sentence or he saw a picture and he thought to himself, oh, well, that could be a hint, or that's a little bit aberrant. Maybe that tells them too much. So, but we don't know what they are. We know we don't look for anything more than the 4 that you're looking for. We're not looking for a hint in every chapter. We think, like Fenn said, there's a couple of hints, and there are a couple of aberrations that live out on the edges. But as you're reading the book, and I'm going to suggest you do this because I did this, read the book out loud. Read it even if there's nobody in the room. Actually, wait till there's nobody in the room, and read the book out loud.
Or call a couple over and sit with you at dinner and read them the book.
Honorable Toby Committee.
Read the book out loud.
Read the book out loud, and what's going to happen is you're going to read a sentence that sounds so out of place, so un-Fennian, that you're going to say to yourself, well, that's just the weirdest thing I've read in this book. And there's a couple of those. And that's what I think of as the aberrations. They just stick out like a sore thumb. I don't make anything of the picture I have yet, ever, to make anything of the picture in page 99. I don't get it. I don't get why people make out of it. But again, that's each individual searcher. So I wish I could help you. I'm struck by the time when Fenn was at Moby Dickens and he talked about the, quote, clue, unquote, that he was surprised to see in Too Far to Walk. And I thought he was going to refer, as a matter of fact, he beat me up over it right there in front of everybody. I thought it was the clue about the, I can't go back to the Madison River and walk that 10 miles. And he comes back with no, it's because the map stops at the Canadian border, at the border with the U.S. border with Canada. And I thought, how is that a clue? Like, who the hell was searching up in Canada for this treasure? But he thought that was like a little bit of a clue. So that gives you a sense of what he thinks are clues. You have a benchmark maps, make a map for you, and they, for whatever reason, without conversations, without discussions, put a border on the Rocky Mountains and stop drawing above that, stop painting above that, giving us the 4 treasure states. Well, to him, that was kind of a hint. There's a little clue in the new book. And I thought it was the 10 miles on the Madison River, and to him it was the map. Like, my reaction when he said that was, how the hell is that even a clue that's going to be helpful? Like, who was searching up in Canada? But in his perspective, from his perspective, the fact that benchmark maps put a border above the state of Montana, dividing it the rest of the Rocky Mountains that go up into Canada and some into Alaska, that to him was a hint. Like, yeah, he's just telling him you don't have to search any place further north in Montana. So if that's a hint, if that's what Fenn thinks of as a hint, we're in some deep Paducah, brother. And I use the word Paducah generously. Continuation. This is 45 minutes later in the morning. What do you think they are and why? And has Fenn ever said there are no hints in his other books? No, he has never said that. Or the scrapbooks. No, he has never said that. He has never said there are hints. He has never said that there are not hints. Or in his answers to questions on mysterious writings. All of the above. He never indicates one way or the other, because that would drive everybody nuts. We'd be like Stephanie tearing up the last solve. P.S. In May, we found horse hoof prints still frozen in the ground on the unpaved portion of the Fountain Flats Drive. If Fenn used horses, he could get further off the trail very quickly compared to walking, and nothing preventing him from using a horse to do a river crossing either. But if he used a horse, why would he need to go twice? Horses are funny animals. They're not very smart, and they're sometimes unpredictable. And now you have him with a horse trailer driving up the road, unloading a horse, saddling it up, and because he's alone, right? He's got to do this all by himself, and he's 80 years old.
Have you ever tried to get up on a horse?
I stopped riding horses when I was 20 years ago, when I was 50.
You got to lift your leg up about where your shoulder is, and then pull your whole body up with that foot.
There were no horses.
It's not an easy thing to do when you're young, let alone when you're 80.
Yeah, 80-year-old riding horses. And don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are those of you that have grandparents that still ride their horses daily. That's true. And because
but they probably have a barn and they have a thing to step up on to get up on the horse and all of that.
Because they have their horses. I used to do a lot of steeplechase in Virginia. And some of the people that I saw riding horses, I would say to myself, that gentleman does not belong on a horse. Because if he falls off, he's going to break a lot of different parts of his body. And that's the other thing, too. When you're up on a horse, you're 6 or 7 feet above the ground. If you're 80, you're already, dangerously close to breaking a bunch of stuff, walking or tripping, much less 6 feet above the ground and falling head first onto it and then being stomped to death by the crazy horse. No, I'm just kidding.
Stomped.
Yeah, get more dramatic.
So you're just going to read all the emails
go ahead.
tonight then?
No, I'm not. Go
Is
ahead.
that it?
Sorry. No. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Question for tonight from Scott Douglas in the room. Hi, guys. I feel that I have a pretty good solution and will be boots on the ground soon. My question is, did Forrest ever indicate how far or how long he walked from his sedan to the hiding place? I tried to find a quote at terryscant.com with no luck. Thanks a million. If you didn't find it there, there isn't one, as far as I know.
The only thing we can say about that is that he once said that he made 2 trips in one afternoon. So he never said the distance. What I'd strongly suggest is that you go up to some mountains, someplace, your boots on the ground, park, hike for 1 hour, because he made 4 trips, right? 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down. So hike for about, you'll get 1.5 miles, and then come back, and then walk that 1.5 miles, and walk it back again. You will, at that point, have walked 6 miles total. And in the mountains, that could be, and dig a hole or carry some weight or whatever. But in that time, in the mountains, you'll have spent an afternoon. And then the summer storms will come in. And what?
I was just picturing that poor Russian lady hanging on, and oh my God, we're going to die.
I don't know, what was the name of that? So there was a YouTube video that was presented to us last night. What was the name of it?
I don't remember.
And
it was documentary style.
It was done documentary style.
It's pretty new, isn't it?
Yeah. It's on YouTube someplace. Yeah. And it was this guy's a mathematician at some Southern California university.
And he and his mom and stepdad went on a treasure hunt, and his mom was pretty scared.
So
it was pretty cute.
The correct answer to your question, Scott, is he did it all in one afternoon. The 4 trips were made all in one afternoon. That's all we know about it.
So the rest is just
the closest we came. So there was some other thing. I don't know whether it was last season or something. Christy K-Pro Christy Thor was talking to Fenn, or was writing Fenn. She told him she was going up to look for her, implement her solution, and she cited the fact that she wasn't a walker, a hiker walker, and should I worry about walking further than a mile or 2 miles? She gave him some number, and he confidently said, don't worry about it, you'll do fine. So she interpreted that to mean that you shouldn't have to walk any further than an unhealthy person from the flatlands. I don't know that she's necessarily...
Rizzo says, so did he hide the treasure in the time of one day? That's what's been indicated, yeah?
According to what he's told us, yeah, he said he made 2 trips in one afternoon. One would assume that one trip was to carry the treasure, the second trip was to carry the box. I don't know why he'd want to do that in more than one day. He'd want to get it over with us. The more time you spend hiding treasure a coin at a time, the more visible you're going to be and the more of a paper trail you're going to be. So you want to do this in one day. At least if it was me, I'd want to do it in one day.
K-Pro's here.
Hi, K-Pro. K-Pro, what's the story? What's the story about the time that you were talking to Fenn about going up to look for implement your solution, and you asked him about that you weren't
that you couldn't walk more than a mile,
right,
or 2
something
miles,
like that.
or
And he gave
far
you
it was.
so tell that story, because I tried to tell it and I don't think I did a good job. No. Let's see. I just looked. If you look at it, okay. So Jerry King, King family, boots on the ground.
Oh, here's the quote from Craig Carter posted. Quote, but I will say that I walked less than a few miles, if that will help. I just looked few up, and one definition is scant. Why do I sound like I'm talking in circles?
Yeah. So
less than a few miles.
Less than a few miles. King family, boots on the ground. It's from Jerry King. Good morning. Good morning. My family, Jerry, Ingrid, and even a Forrest, I guess that's one of the children, are followers of your channel and just completed our first Boots on the Ground together, thanks in large part to your informative videos on the treasure hunt. Well, thank you. We, like many others, enjoyed the thrill of the chase, even though we didn't find the chest. It was our hope to send you a photo of our 4x4 crossing the Rio de los Pinos, but the water was knee-high and flowing pretty fast, so we walked across. Well, that's pretty courageous. This was in July, so early July. Yeah, we've had a big runoff this year.
It's not that bad.
No, we were there in
I
July.
mean, it doesn't run fast.
No.
Even if it's knee-high.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not
you
in
might
that
want a
area.
walking sticks, because
Yeah.
we watched somebody do that exact thing, and he did kind of fall down in the water, and
Yep.
we kind of laughed at him, but we were far enough away, he didn't hear us.
We were able to put together most of the clues, even found the home of Brown, a beaver house, but due to the fast currents, we couldn't venture far into the gorge. You do not want to be going into the gorge. We feel we are good at boots on the ground, but not so good as deciding on where warm waters halt. Any chance you could point us to a possible where warm waters halt? We should have came up with a backup plan before leaving home next time. Any recommendations would be appreciated, as we have a few more days to search. Thank you both for all you do for the Forest Fenn community. Sincerely, the King family.
Of course, that was on Monday, so maybe they're done by now.
So the only sucker that we could offer you is...
Sucker.
The only support we could offer you is that if you believe in the warm waters, New Mexico fishing regulations, warm waters definition theory, then your where warm waters halt in that particular area is the Colorado-New Mexico border, because that is where warm waters
It runs through the river.
The waters below that are trout waters. The below
Snuggles!
below that are trout water. So yeah, warm waters halt at the border. That's our theory.
Jeff Anschultz is here.
Everything else would be something we made up. Not that we didn't make that up, but I mean, we have some explanation for it. All right.
We are going up near Lake Hebgen, but we're not going to be looking for the treasure. So those of you who missed our travel plans, we're going September 7th through the 15th. We're going up to Pagosa Springs, up to Thermopolis, and then Kirby, Meeteetse, Cody, West Yellowstone, Tetons, Lander, Salida, Colorado, and then back home again.
All between Saturday, September 7th and Sunday, the 15th. We will not, of course, have shows that week, so we'll miss you guys. But I plan to take a lot of photographs, and the following week we'll share all that photography with you.
So if you're going to be up in the Yellowstone area around the 11th of September, we'll be up there.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Good night, Heather. Okay,
Thermopolis.
you ready for some text messages?
We're going to see the Dinosaur Museum and do the hot springs in Thermopolis.
And we're going to toss a fly into the Madison.
You are.
I'm going to toss a fly.
You got to have a license for that.
You have to have 2 licenses.
You have to have 2.
Well, you don't. You have to have the yellow. You have to have the
just
Yellowstone
said.
license. Sorry. No shows. Yeah, we're going to be out. Don't start worrying about it now. That's all the way in September. So.
Oh, I won't be here Friday either.
Oh, Shelley's not going to be here on Friday.
No fandangoing for me.
No, well, it's going to be kind of a fandango, but it's going to be at the.
You'll be fandangoing by yourself.
I'll be fandangoing on
Unless
Friday by
Cynthia
myself.
wants to stop by. Hey, Cynthia.
Oh, we should, Cynthia, if you want to join me on Friday. Shelley's not going to be here.
Or hey, maybe Raul. Is it Raul?
Rafael.
Rafael, that's it.
Rafael Perla.
Or Rahul from the Tamaya, who was our server last night.
And didn't stop me to tell me that I left my credit card behind.
Oh, yeah, you got to go back and get
I got to
that.
pick that up tomorrow. That's how tipsy I was. Actually, I wasn't tipsy at all. I just forgot it.
You were too busy telling stories to the guy at the table. Didn't remember the... Well, Shin's leaving now after all that bad language.
Who?
Shin.
Shit. It's Chinese, not Japanese. It's Japanese. Let's see. Where was it
Aboard.
going? Text
Aboard's
messages.
here.
Aboard. We don't know. To North's not in the room, so we don't know the answer to your question. So let's go to text. Wow, that
I didn't
one
want you
didn't-
dead air. So
Oh, okay.
I wanted
No,
to
it was.
talk
I was
through
doing
the
a.
videos.
Did you look
Did
at my
you-
solve? I sent you? No, I didn't see the solve. Was there a solve?
From Mitch.
Okay, text messages. Here we go, brothers and sisters. Hey, my name is James Elias, and I'm just finishing a Boots on the Ground that needs to be heard for both the positive and the negative, and I may just have all the information needed to blow this whole search into overdrive. I don't ask you to take me for my word. I have all the evidence documented. Feel free to contact me anytime, and I will give you the details needed to prove that I'm legit. I sadly am calling it quits. This was just what I needed at this time, but now it's becoming a burden. Thanks. Oh, 989. We'll come back to you, James.
Uh-oh.
Give him a call. What?
Apparently, K-Pro, they played Jens's trailer as well, and also
And then
lost.
it demonetizes you, doesn't it? Yeah.
Demonetized their video.
I saw them. I came into the room kind of after they had done it.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it, and I told her, "Did you play the video? Yeah, it's got copyrighted music in it." Ugh.
Yeah. Whoopsie.
We're just trying to do a favor. I actually sent them I fought it. I haven't got a response yet, but I'm fighting. I'm saying we're just trying to do the gentleman a favor. We didn't intentionally play it. We didn't even know it was copyrighted. We don't do that anymore.
Do that anyway.
Hello, my name is Mario from New Jersey, and I've been watching your channel for about 2 years. Wow, that's pretty dedicated. And I find your videos very... What?
You got Jensed.
I got Jens. Nice. So apparently... No, I'm not going to say that. And I've been watching your channel for about 2 years, and I find your videos very fascinating. Something that I feel that should be focused on more is Forrest making 2 trips from his car when hiding the treasure. One of the trips was to carry the chest, but what about the other trip? To carry the treasure, right?
Mm-hmm. Because he could only
He
carry
could only-
about 20 pounds at a time.
Right. Could it have been for a hollowed out tree or a prop to help hide it, or maybe a shovel or something else to help him hide the special place. Figuring that out, I truly believe it could help find the chest. Please share your thoughts and opinions. Thank you. Siri, I am not talking to Siri. Just
My
came.
pleasure.
I haven't even done anything.
Why don't
to
you
her.
let
I don't
Siri
know.
read those?
So could she do that?
I think so.
Yeah. Mario, Fenn made 2 trips. The first trip was to hide the treasure, to place the treasure. Then he came back to his car because the whole thing weighed 42 pounds and he couldn't travel with, but it was too heavy for him. If you want to know how heavy 42 pounds is, get a 5-gallon pail from Lowe's or Home Depot, fill it with water. That's 42 pounds. See how far you can walk with it. Now I know it's not easy, but so he made 2 trips, the first to hide the chest, then the second one to put the treasure into the chest, because one weighed 20 pounds, the other weighed 22. So it was not to bring up props and other things like that. It was simply to hide the treasure in the chest. That was Mario from New Jersey. You mentioned Onyx Maps or OnX. What is the website? Thought this would help seeing what was reservation, private land, etc. It does, and it's onyx.com, isn't it? Hang on just
How do
a
you
second.
spell that? Like the
It's-
black stone or on
Yeah,
and
on
X?
X. Okay, it's onxmaps.com. onxmaps.com. And they are great. The subscription is their subscription basis because they provide a lot of information. It's $99 a year. So strongly recommend you use this.
Well, Jeff Van Schultz, 42 pounds is heavy if you're an 80-year-old man,
Yeah.
especially if it's, uncertain footing. And he wouldn't want to get hurt because he was trying to hide that treasure secretly. If he got hurt, that would kind of ruin his secret.
Okay, voicemail. We got voicemails. Let's see what we got here.
Hey, Toby, this is Sparky from Missouri. I've had the 8 clues all the way up to about 2 years ago, and I looked for that 9th clue, which was the home of Brown. When I had found the first clue, I knew pretty much by instinct where to go from there and where it was, but I didn't know for sure. But when I found where the home of Brown was, I just punched in, and it came up, and I just put in New Mexico, and it popped up an address, and it put it right in the middle of where I was searching. So I know exactly. I was at 98%. Now I'm at over 100% that I know where it's at. But I know no one's has found that first clue, because if they have, or Warm Waters Halt, they would actually have it. So anyway, I'm just letting you know you got to call me, and if you need to know anything or whatever without me giving it up before I get out there. I just got released from the doctor and the wife where I can leave, so I'll probably be out there within the next week. So if you want to call me, I'll talk to you soon then. All right, my number 999.
No.
All right, you guys have a good day. I like watching your guys' shows. All right, bye.
So, sounds like he's got it figured
Well,
out.
Ben tells us that people have found the first 2 clues and then walked right on past the other 7 to miss the treasure. So I would say maybe you're a little incorrect on nobody having found the first clue. We got a super chat here. Ba-ching. Drawing Nigh, who says, what do you want to see in Salida? We've been to Salida a couple times and loved it. And so we want to go back, see the Arkansas River, have some dinner there, watch things float by, maybe do some fishing. There's the distillery, which we enjoyed. Then, of course, the winery was a wonderful place to.
That's the place where you got the cherry
have a little-
wine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
they had a
really good.
nice meal there, and then they had that other restaurant that we liked that only served that one meal. Remember, that was the steak and potato, and that was it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You want the big steak or the small steak?
That was pretty much it. You want butter on your potato, and that was. I mean, there was no choices. You either ate the steak or you. Yeah, I liked it. I liked that red meat.
And it's just a really neat little downtown to walk around in, and there's a lot to see there. It's very relaxing.
Text message from 319. Guys, if you're going to send us a text message, please share your name and the state from which you are texting. Hello, I'm new to the search for this treasure after going to an escape room in Pagosa Springs called Treasure. I found a legitimate place that I want to tell you about. I don't know. Why does everybody want to tell us? We don't. You don't have to tell us.
Yes,
about
Mitchy Mitch, send us a copy of your email because we must
I don't
have
know
missed
if
it.
anyone has located this
Quincy's.
place, but I would like to discuss this with you. Is that the name of the place?
Yeah,
Quincy's,
she gave it
yeah.
to us. Yeah.
Idea for a place where warm waters halt, a mill, then down a canyon, not too far, but it's too far to walk, to a place called Brown Homestead. Then I need some guidance from there. What? You're well on your way. Just keep going down that canyon. You'll do fine. You will do fine. Voicemail. Let me see. Okay. All right. There we go.
Oh, Toby, I had a question about it, but I probably be more personal about it. How about your clips on most of Fenn's treasure? And I got an idea it's possibly in Wyoming, but I need to know more about if it's ever been found. But everybody thinks it's not. So you can call me back at 708-617.
Hey.
No, she's the wrong one.
Hey.
Hey. Okay, yeah, there we go. He's just such a slow talker. I'll finish off his sentence. It says, "My name is Daniel, and I'm in Arizona. Thank you." So, Daniel, there is no evidence, no credible evidence that the poem has been solved or the treasure has been found and or recovered. So that's all we can tell you as of this moment. There may be somebody that's found a treasure and is keeping it in their basement or something, but there is no credible evidence of all of that. So you're free to go into Wyoming and look for the treasure. Why not? Live a little.
Yeah, I think we went to the museum in Salida, didn't we? Yeah, didn't we? Yeah. We asked them about Brown and where did the name Brown came from? Brown's Canyon, Brown, and all that. Who was the Brown?
Oh yeah,
and they
it was
couldn't
a
figure
little
out.
house. It was a little house. Remember?
No, it was
or
a
that
little
Lander?
building.
Oh no, Lander had the nice building.
It was
one
a
in
small
Salida.
building. Yeah, we went to the museum in Salida. We
Yeah,
have
it was-
pictures.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
pictures. Yes, we were. How far is Yellowstone from Santa Fe? How far is Yellowstone from Santa Fe? I don't know. That's why God gave us.
650
Google Maps.
miles, something like that.
If you're driving, let's see.
Maybe. Oh, from.
I'm just gonna
from
Google that for
Santa
you.
Fe. Why from Santa Fe?
I don't know because everybody. Let's see. That would be what?
So-
Oh, no.
Empire Yard Maintenance. What? What?
From Santa Fe to Yellowstone is 13 hours and 43 minutes, 796.3 miles. And that's not as the crow flies. As the crow flies, of course, it's shorter. But, yeah. Jack says 1,400 miles. That must be a round trip, Jack. So, Google this, my brothers. That's why God gave us Google.
It's easier to ask Toby and make him do it.
Okay. Hi, Toby and Shelley. I am putting boots on the ground again in September, and this will be my third trip from Southwest Florida. Wow. Been hot on the trail for 4 years now, triangulating in and Barry, centering to the X special spot. Wish me luck. Good luck. Oh.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Toby and Shelley. I'm putting boots on the ground again in September, and this will be my third. Wait, he just sent the same message twice. Okay. So, all right, that's it for text messages. That's it for voicemails. Let me just clear these out of here, and we can go to open phone line. Oh no, we have to call. So let's call James first, and then we'll call Jerry.
So we weren't going to look at this?
What? We are, but we're going to call him. We have to call him. He's going to tell us the whole story.
I see.
got pictures.
Pictures.
Kevin. Hi, Kevin. So, James, we're about to call you. It's Toby and Shelley, and you're going to tell us. This is I'm just finishing a Boots on the Ground that needs to be heard for both the positive and the negative. So, Let's see what he has to say about all of that. About all of that.
Who are we calling?
James. Hello.
Yeah.
James, is this you?
Yeah, this is Tim.
It's Toby and Shelley. I'm responding to the text message that you sent us. You wanted to share the positive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you forget about this, James? Did you forget that you sent me a text message?
I did not forget. I didn't expect this phone call.
Well, let me refresh your memory. I'm going to read it to you verbatim, all right? Hey, my name is James.
Oh, no. No, you don't have to read it back to me. I understand.
So you're telling us
I actually went
the
boots on the
positive
ground
and the negative.
And yes. Am I on the air right now?
You are.
Or on
Yeah,
the
well,
show?
yeah, you're on the YouTubers.
Oh, great.
So,
well, the positive and the negatives. I'm not going to say exactly where I was because I'm still finishing up with what I'm doing. I feel like I'm about 90% home, and I'm being very realistic with that. The positives and the negatives are, he always says, don't go where a 80-year-old man can't go, right? But if you don't think that you're able to get there exactly the way that he went, sometimes you put yourself in positions that you shouldn't. And I would say I definitely did that. I tried to gain access to a place that would be easy to get to and kind of got blocked. And so I decided, you know what? I'll just go up and around the other side of a mountain and kind of just hike in and cross over a mountain and go down the other side. And you know what? That's a bigger task than somebody should take on. So those are some of the negatives, I would say. That, and you find yourself in positions to where you don't know if you should be on somebody's, am I on somebody's property at this point? Am I not? So you feel kind of weird snooping around. That's kind of the feelings that I got while I was there.
So that's why we use maps and GPSs to help us with that. The other thing is that to climb up the mountain, what was it that blocked you on your first attempt?
Well, if I was able to go straight there up the side of the mountain that I wanted to go, I actually ran into a gate that said,
"Ooh, gates,
private property," and I was kind of dead set on getting to this area, and I was like, well, I'll just go around the other side. And that turned into a 15-hour hike that I was lucky to get out before it got dark. I will just say that.
So
I did my preparations. I had GPS and all that stuff, and I had an SOS button if needed, but I was all in at that point. So,
So you'd say that the 80-year-old man rule applies at this point?
Oh, it definitely should have applied, and I shouldn't have gone where I went. And after rethinking, when I finally got there, all that work, I went up a mountain, down the other side. When I finally got there, I realized that even had I come up the other side, and even if that gate didn't exist when he put it there, there's no way he still would have gotten to that point, even going the easy way. The terrain was just too tough. So, that was my own fault. But, I'm from Michigan. Getting out there, you underestimate the terrain that you're getting yourself into. So I would say those are some of the, the negatives, mostly, sometimes there's a lot of gray areas. I know that people say it's easy to know whether you're on somebody's property or not, but the area that I was in, it was very, very tough to tell where, say national parks or national forests start and where, private property starts. It's very, very tough to tell out there.
Yeah, what you're going to find...
And so that made me feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, what you're going to find, let me help some of the searchers. What you're going to find once you get up there is that the national forests, not as much the national parks, but the national forests are pockmarked with what is referred to as grandfathered land. People that had property that before it was made a national forest, and they agreed with the national forest or the government that they were going to keep that property. And a lot of times there's no fencing or indication that you're getting onto private property, and that's why you need a GPS with good maps, that Onyx maps. Get the Onyx maps so you can track yourself and find out when you're going onto private property. There's all kinds of that along the Rio de los Pinos and the Carson National Forest. You think you're fishing on the Rio de los Pinos, and you're actually on private property, and they don't have any problem coming up and telling you to get off their private property.
Exactly. And on the other side of that, I had some guys that basically chased me off of some areas that, after doing some research while I was out there, I actually found out that I was on a perfectly legal country or a county-owned road, and they had no right to tell me to leave. And so I actually found some maps that said, no, I'm legitimately allowed to be here. And then, looking at the state laws as far as, following rivers and creeks and stuff like that, what you're allowed to do and what you aren't allowed to do. And it's like, no, I can do exactly what I'm doing right now. So I actually spent half my time out there trying to go roundabout ways to not upset anybody when I could have just gone right to where I wanted to go to and said, no, you're wrong. But, things you find yourself into when you get out there, but yet you've come so far that you're kind of committed to, you don't want to upset anybody, but yet, I came a long ways, invested some money, so I'm all in on this. And I was going to spill all sorts of details and information of things I came across. I'm talking about like artifacts that are too much to be a coincidence in the area that I'm searching that fit exactly his stories, the poem, everything. The only problem is, on my way home, I had an epiphany about one other thing that's not directly in the poem, but that he always brings up, that after everything I found in my area, it's like, this is the one last thing you should do or look. So now I'm like apprehensive to just kind of spill all this information. And the people in that area that, say I put this all out there, they would hate, just being overrun with people with everything I kind of divulged. So maybe it's not right to do that, but because they're very kind. So there were some very kind people in the area that I went to. So
I've got a question from the room for you. You ready?
Yep.
What state are you searching in?
I don't even want to say that.
All right. So
I honestly don't.
I got another question for you.
Okay.
How, considering that you have to travel from Michigan to your search location, ignoring that effort, right? Let's say you're standing at the point at which you're sitting in your car at the point at which you're about to step outside and begin the process of looking for this treasure, right?
Yep.
How many hours, in your opinion, how many hours of effort are you away from locating that treasure?
You're saying if I went back right now?
Yeah, if you went back right now, and you got back to the point where you parked your car the last time, and you're about to get out of your car and get your backpack out of the back, how far are you away in hours from bringing that treasure back to your car?
Oh, like actually physically walking to the treasure?
Just give me hours. Don't tell me walking. Just how many hours is it going to take you to get from your car back to your car after recovering the treasure?
If it's in the place where I think it is at this point, I would say you could do it in under 15 minutes to a half hour.
Wow. Dang, brother.
Yeah. Just because, I searched some places that would have taken him hours to get to. And a lot of the artifacts that I found, but so I'll say that all the artifacts that I found could have been, I think he didn't place them there. I think they were there back when he milled around in this area, and he just tied them into his story. And they're all within maybe a 10-minute walk from a road. And where he actually, if I was to go back and go to my aha moment place, there's kind of like a secret, not a secret drive, but a drive that just kind of just goes to nowhere, where if he got to the end of that, walked 10, 15 minutes and put it where I think he did, I think he could have been in and out of his car half hour less.
So hang on, I've got
very
to
short distance.
do me a favor, and Gerald Vacker, I don't have your phone number. Could you text me your phone number? Text the 866-597 number so we can call you, Jerry. All right. Sorry, I needed to do that because we're going on to the next caller. Well, James, thank you very much for your time. Don't forget that our show is on from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays, and that if you send us a text telling us to call you, we will very likely call you.
Listen. If I get to the point where I'm ready to just dish it all out there, you guys are the ones, and I'm talking like hard facts, like here's pictures of this item, here's pictures of this item, here's where they're located.
That's kind of what we're doing. That is kind of what we're doing with this other gentleman tonight. He wants to kind of spill his beans too. So when you're ready to do that, or ready to announce that you found the treasure, give us a call. You have our number.
Well, honestly, I got to lick my wounds, and because I went about some things the hard way, and I actually made 2 trips out there back to back, and then kind of decide if I want to team up with a local searcher and just kind of let them do the last details or whatever. So
all right. Well, good luck. Good luck in your next search. Let us know how it goes.
Appreciate it, and for all the people, don't overreach, because that's not a good place to put yourself in. I mean, I was in a bad spot. So.
Yeah. But thankfully you survived it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
All right,
I'm young.
Yeah. See?
Yep. Thanks.
All right. You take care. Good searching.
All right. You too.
Bye now.
Yep. Bye.
Beep, beep, beep.
Have we got an email from Jerry?
I was looking through all the emails. They don't have any. There is no phone number.
Did he text you or anything?
Nope. That's what I'm saying. Jerry, if you're watching, text me your number so that I can call you back, brother. There we go. Maybe this is him. There we go. All right, we're calling Jerry, and I've got some pictures, and he wants me to open up the... oh, Chihuahua. ¿Qué pasó ahí? Meh.
15 buttons later.
Hello?
Hey, Jerry.
Hello?
Jerry, can you hear me? Jerry?
No, I can't hear you. How about now?
What's 2 plus 2?
4.
Okay, so you can hear me. Good. That's good.
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right, so we are calling. I've got the pictures that you sent me this evening, and or was it yesterday? Let me see. That was, yesterday.
Have y'all posted those yet?
No, we haven't. We were going to open them up when you called because we want you to tell us the story, and then you tell us where to go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Onyx maps to the Cruces Basin. Hold on just a sec.
Well, since Fenn changed his, he said the treasure was still there. I've kind of looked over my solve again.
Yeah.
And I've actually created a different solve, or found some different clues. And
so, are you still?
I've actually got it.
Are you still in the Cruces Basin?
Yes, I am.
Okay, hang on. Well, let me go up there. Let me go visit the Cruces Basin. Hang on just a sec. I got to zoom out on Onyx, and then I'm going to be sharing this with the folks. Okay, so a couple of things. Number one, what do you want me to do with these pictures that you sent me?
Can you hold off for a while with those?
You mean a while as in tonight, in a little while, or hold off until you decide to do this again? Are you bailing on me, Jerry?
'Cause
It sounds like you're about to bail on me. Jerry?
I guess I am a
Jerry,
little bit.
are you bailing on me a second time?
I actually, we can go up to the crescent moon and the bird if you want, but my solve has changed after that.
Jerry, what am I going to do with you? Okay, so
Well, Fenn,
what is it
made
that
me relook my solve.
What is it that Fenn said or did that made you rethink all this material? See, Jerry, are you watching? See, what is it that Fenn said that made you rethink the sending of an express mail package containing an album to Shelley and Toby? What? And you're telling me now?
It's not.
Blah, it's not worth it.
It's not in the cave. I thought it was. Yeah.
So is it in the Cruces Basin?
Yeah. It is in the Cruces Basin.
Is it?
That's my opinion.
Is it on the south side of the Toltec Gorge?
South side of the Toltec Gorge, yes.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm going to open up the screenshot that I have. I have my Onyx maps, and we're in that area right now. So that right there is Jerry's search area. It's called the Cruces Basin Wilderness. That line right there is the Colorado-New Mexico border. This area here, so what I'm going to show you, so those tracks right there are the Cumbres and Toltec Railroad. That's the Toltec Gorge.
Right.
This area right here is, I'm going to zoom in so you can see where we are in relationship. So our approach on so that area right there is the Rio de los Pinos, right? And the Toltec Gorge starts right there. We park, when we're searching, our parking spot is right there. And we go down the river, cross Warm Waters Halt on that line right there on the Rio de los Pinos. We go south, but eventually we get to this point right there. And that's where the Toltec Gorge, the Toltec Gorge begins right there. So that's that dangerous territory. Yeah, that's the dangerous territory that we're always talking about. Now, that's what we call the northern approach. That is coming in through Colorado on Forest Road, 301, 103. I don't remember now. So what Jerry is suggesting...
I don't look at this. I don't look at this as if Fenn is actually walking it. I don't know if everybody's doing that. I'm not doing it like that.
So
I'm looking at it from the point of where the treasure is.
How you get to the treasure.
That's what I'm saying?
So you don't think...
If it's like a mile from the treasure, it's 9 miles away. You're not walking 9 miles.
Right. Agreed.
He's only going to walk a mile. Yeah.
Right. Walking a mile in his shoes, as they like to say. Okay.
Right.
So you get into the Cruces Basin Wilderness. You referred to Beaver Creek and... I don't know if you said Diablo Creek, but I know from experience that Beaver Creek and Diablo Creek come together at Osha Canyon. And at Osha Canyon, Diablo and Beaver become Beaver Creek. Is that that area still part of your solution?
It is. Yeah, you go up Beaver Creek.
Wait.
And
up or down Beaver Creek?
No, you're going up Beaver Creek from Rio de los Pinos.
Okay. So that would be, hang on just a sec. So there's the Rio de los Pinos. That's where Beaver Creek. Now, I got to tell you, and I noticed this last week, and I'm looking at my maps, the Onyx maps that indicate that the confluence of Beaver Creek with the Rio de los Pinos is on private property.
Okay. Well, in Texas, all streams are state property and it's public property.
No.
I don't know how it is in New Mexico.
I agree with you. The waters themselves, belong to the people. But what I'm telling you is that this stretch of the Rio de los Pinos and where it meets Beaver Creek, that confluence right there is on private property. You would have to walk in the water in order to stay legal. And you're suggesting that I walk up Beaver Creek. Is that correct?
Well, he said put in below the Homer Brown. There's a beaver dam over there.
Okay. So how far up Beaver Creek from the Rio de los Pinos am I walking? By the way, this area here, you guys, the guys that are watching it on the maps, that's below Toltec Gorge. That's the point at which there's private property. You can
Right.
see all the way up until the gorge. There's a series of private property tracks right up until right there where it merges with Toltec Canyon. Toltec Canyon ends right there, and there's the Cruces property right there, and then below that there's an extension of the Cruces property, etc. So this is all private property in this area.
Okay. Well,
I can even tell you who owns it. Donald Mullins et al., meaning and others, owns that property at the confluence of Beaver Creek and the Rio de los Pinos.
okay. Well,
So you might be able to approach it the other.
that's my dog.
If you approach it from the west and come into the Cruces Basin from the west and go to the intersection of Diablo Creek and Beaver Creek, and then head down Osha Canyon, you could head down the canyon, Osha Canyon, to the property line and be safe, because all of that would be within the Cruces Basin National Wilderness. So it might be safer to do it from that direction. Just a suggestion.
Well, I guess that throws my solve out the window then.
Oh, damn it, Jerry. We were supposed to have a conversation here, brother. Okay.
Well, let's see, the way I did it was I came up Beaver Creek.
Yeah.
And then there's a gorge right there at the end of Osha Canyon, and that's
Yeah.
my heavy loads and water high.
Oh, all right. Well, I know where you are.
All I did was,
And depending on how
I read all this.
far you are away from Rio de los Pinos, you could be off that private property. Let me, hang on, I can give you a measurement right here. Hold on just a second. So let's go back over here. And I'm going to measure from there to up Beaver Creek to the point that you're off the private property. You would have to travel 327 yards up Beaver Creek from the confluence with the Rio de los Pinos in order to be off the private property and into the Cruces wilderness. So about a fifth of a mile. So this would be a good place for you to get a subscription to onxmaps.com so that you can see this stuff. That's private property. That's dangerous territory there, brother. Okay, so strike.
It worked for me. I don't.
Strike two, Jerry.
I guess it don't work for everybody.
I feel like I'm in Pretty Woman. Isn't there a part of the movie where he's going like, Jerry? Oh, no, it's Julia Roberts. Never mind. Okay, Jerry.
I think you're thinking of Seinfeld.
Am I? So, Jerry, here's what we'll do.
I'm listening.
You go and explore your solution, your newest, latest solution. You don't have to send any albums. Although we appreciate it. That was really nice of you and very thoughtful.
Okay.
But send me an email, send me some pictures of kind of where in kind of directions, and we'll look at it on the map. And I can give you all these dimensions. I can tell you whether you're on private property or not. And I can tell you how far you'd have to walk to get off private property.
Okay. So you're saying just because it's on private property, it's not going to work?
No, I'm saying that if you're walking from the Rio de los Pinos up Beaver Creek, right, you're going to have to do a lot of explaining to that property owner why you're walking in the creek. You're right. In Texas, in New Mexico, as long as you're in the water, you're safe. But landowners just don't see it that clearly, right? They're going to ask why you're walking up Beaver Creek on their property.
Well, as a matter of fact, even in Texas, I think it's like 50 foot on each side of the river or stream.
Yeah. So they own the property to the high, generally speaking, they own their property up to the high water mark of whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how it is in New Mexico. But they still want to know what you're doing there. They're going to ask you what you're doing there if they see you doing it. And I know this this space because I've driven that road. The road actually is above that, and the road goes through there. It passes through their land. But it says on both sides of the road, private property, do not stop, no fishing. I know that area.
Okay. Well, let me go check out this next solve I have, and I'll get back with you.
I look forward to it. I think it'll be fun.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you...
It will be.
I'm going to give you a strike 2. You've got another ball coming at you. Right?
Okay.
I'm going to throw you
That's right.
I'm going to throw you a slow pitch so that you can just
Okay.
come back and tell us all about it.
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good. All right. We'll see y'all.
All right,
Bye.
we'll talk to you later. He's got to come. That was Jerry all the way from Texas, where they have funny land laws too.
Sounds like a good movie.
Yeah, funny land laws too.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think Toby was thinking of the movie Conspiracy Theory with Julia Roberts. Oh, you're right. You know what? I love that movie. I have one of my daughters, Erica Ray, to me has always looked and kind of behaved like Julia Roberts. Every time I see a movie with Julia Roberts in it, I have to call my daughter and tell her that I'm thinking about it. That's how much they are like. But you're right.
Hey guys, new drinking game. Every time Toby says Rio de los Pinos.
You're right. It is Conspiracy Theory. I'm going to watch that tonight, actually, before I go to bed. Because I love that. Jerry, she keeps saying, Jerry.
Well, you're going to go to bed on time, so
Yeah.
sleep.
I can't. I need sleep. So, Jerry, conspiracy, my Jerry Vacker conspiracy theory guy, we're going to have to figure that one out. So, and we'll give him another chance. That was only strike 2. We did talk about it. The Cruces Basin is interesting. It's kind of we considered that
Our
early on.
audio is having issues.
Oh, is it really? Can you hold up a sign? I don't know.
Choppy audio. Audio is breaking.
Audio. You know, it could
We're
be.
going to have to shut it down.
I think.
It's almost time anyway.
I think we're just beating up poor YouTube. Is what it is. I don't have time for just one call.
That's they can't hear us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Doesn't do much good.
All right. Well, as PM says, Dirty Dave, DIY Dave, blah, blah, blah. I don't actually know what it means. We cannot understand you, says Sassy. Okay. Then,
Go.
let's see.
We got music. All right. I won't be back on Friday, but he will. So check it out. 7 o'clock, Friday from Mango. And for Gypsy Kiss, Humpday Hoedown, I'm Shelley Carney. What the heck are you doing? Stop that.
Stop that. You're killing me. All right, guys. We'll have something to do on Friday. I don't know what we'll do. We got another Jerry. If you've got a solve and you want to talk about it in front of the entire community, let us know and we'll give you a call and you can talk about those solves. And I'm sorry the audio is breaking up. I have no explanation for it. We're doing the best that we can.
Everything's in retrograde right
Everything's in retrograde. Mars is in retrograde.
Eclipses
Mercury,
and full moons.
eclipses. There's earthquakes everywhere. We don't. It's hot.
It's the end of the world.
There's a heat wave in the east side of the country. It's just terrible. So, and it's nobody's fault.
Range party.
All right, guys.